What's going on, everyone? I hope you're having a good day today. I want to address this article about a Dragon Ball reboot that's been talked about. There's a bunch of rumors and people talking about this, and I want to clarify what's going on with this. So, CBR, Comic Book Resources, not a very credible site at all. I'm going to go over what they're saying and what's really going on. It says here Dragon Ball Super director expresses interest in rebooting the series. Basically, what's going on here is, and this article by Michael John Day, basically, let me summarize it without reading the entire article. What he's saying is that Chikashi Kubota, the director of Dragon Ball Super Superhero, who also worked on One Piece and has several projects going on, expressed interest months ago. This isn't even a new interview. Months ago, he said he would love to work on more Dragon Ball, and that if Toei Animation were ever to reboot the series, he would love to work on it. Now, what do I mean by reboot? Let me clarify reboot, because I think that's where the confusion is. In fact, this article was clearly written to be clickbait and to get, there's no substance to this article. But what I mean by reboot is they're going to readapt the manga. Take the original manga and readapt it with new animation, new artists, a new voice cast, new music, sort of like from scratch, and no filler. That's been something that I've been discussing for years. If you've been watching me on stream or on the channel, I've talked about how I do think at some point in the future, I'm not saying it's going to be this year, next year, I'm talking about maybe 5-10 years down the road or even more than that. At some point, they're going to readapt the manga, because the original adaptation, the original Dragon Ball anime, had a bunch of filler, and a lot of it was good. There was really good filler. The writers from that era were very talented. But now, with the way technology's evolved, they want to take the original source material and reboot it. Now, let me go into that a little bit more. This has happened before. There have been other anime that's been rebooted. Digimon happened a bunch of times with Digimon, retelling the original story with some changes. Hunter x Hunter. It wouldn't be the same reason, but Hunter x Hunter is another anime that was redone. There's 2 different anime for it. Even JoJo's Bizarre Adventure had like a movie that came out back in the 90s, and then the anime. Gundam as well. Gundam has had multiple adaptations, anime and then movies of the same story. So what Kubota's talking about is, should that ever happen, he wants to work on it because he loves the original Dragon Ball manga. And if you watch Superhero, the opening shot of the movie was his. He did it. That first minute long montage going over the history of Red Ribbon, that was him doing that. That was his, animation. He's very talented. So if you actually read the article, you can stop reading it after this paragraph right here, the first paragraph, because it literally says, no official reports about Toei Animation's interest in rebooting the series have been made at the time of this writing. There's no interest in doing this right now. I think at some point it will be done. I think they will do it with a new voice cast. I think Masako Nozawa is kind of getting up there in age. I mean, it's pretty obvious. I think that whoever comes in to voice Goku will be a new voice, new music, and just be a new anime. Now, some of y'all are going to say, well, is it going to be like Kai? Well, with Kai, all they did was re-chop up Dragon Ball Z. With this, it's supposed to be a new animation, like doing it from scratch based on the manga. That's what Kubota wants to do. But there's nothing at all from Toei Animation saying they're going to do that. The only rumor that has been going on since last year is the rumors of a web anime. And it's not, as far as I know, the contents of it is not a reboot, although it may be. And I did do a stream last December where I discussed that one source told me that there is a web anime in pre-production. Now, that's one source. I was very honest with you guys. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that it's breaking news, but it was one source. There are other leakers that have said it's true. Nothing's been announced yet. So until something gets announced, I have made the promise to you guys that I'm not going to talk about it anymore, because what's the point? There's no animation, or there's no confirmation from Toei themselves. And until there is, I'm going to assume hasn't even started yet. But should I get any updates, I will obviously do a video. You don't have to ask me about, hey, when's Super coming back or when's the web anime. If I know when it is, I'll do a video on it. I'm not just gonna leave that story hanging, because if they do bring the show back, it's a pretty big story, right? But I wanted to kind of debunk this. These paragraphs right here are all filler. There's an art to writing blog posts like this, and it's done in a certain type of way to basically use SEO to their advantage to get clicks. Usually you're going to get a couple pictures and a few paragraphs. All this stuff is pretty much just filler stuff. See, it goes into the original. Look at this. Like, the Dragon Ball series created by Toriyama was serialized by Weekly Shonen Jump. This is all information that everybody already knows. You know what I mean? Like, Goku's pop culture phenomenon. Everybody knows that. There's no information in this, dude. There is nothing. Hey, you can read Dragon Ball on the Viz site. Yeah, we know that already. Sports Kita and CBR, this is a waste of time, this article, and it's done just to get clicks. Right now, there's no news about any kind of reboot. It's just something that Kubota said he wants to do. He never said it's going to happen. I'm telling you, I think it will happen. I'm only predicting this. It's not an inside information. I'm predicting it, but I don't think it'll happen anytime soon. I think when we're much older, maybe even in 20 years, they'll probably do that. I don't see it happening anytime soon. However, 2024, next year, is going to be the 40th anniversary of Dragon Ball. The manga began in 1984. So, if they're going to do it, that's the right time to do it. I just don't think they will. So, those are my thoughts. I hope you enjoyed the video. Take care of yourself. I'll see you soon.